Well, hello, my cosmic family and friends. Thank you for joining me today. Leos, how are you feeling? My gosh, I wish sometimes that I could be a Leo because I feel like you are always so confident and so sure of yourself. So, how you feeling, Leo? We've got a lot of stuff happening in the month of August. So I'm going to walk you through each of these significant transits that I have on board for you in the month of August. Now, this stuff that I'm about to go through today, it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen to everyone. And the point, or rather, doing these horoscopes are really for the collective of anyone that is a Leo ascendant, a Leo moon sign, or a Leo sun sign. So let me break that down for you first. So if you are a Leo sun, that's basically you were born end of July, early August, right? That makes you a Leo. So you can follow that. People over 40 tend to relate more to their sun sign. Now, your rising sign will coincide with the charts that I'm going to go through with you today. So I always encourage you, if you haven't already, make sure you print your natal chart because then you can go along with me, look at your chart as I'm showing you the collective transits that are happening. So if you have a natal planet aspecting any of these pieces I'm talking about today, or, if you happen to have a natal planet where the eclipses are happening, that certainly is going to have a different vibe for you. So if I tell you, go buy a lottery ticket, you're not all going to win the lottery. It just means you have the potential. So I'm really sharing with you what the energy of the universe is giving us over the month of August, right? It's good to be prepared. It's good to know what's going on, unless you love to live by the seat of your pants and just like to be shocked and surprised all the time. I personally like to know what's coming. It helps me prepare. It helps me to use the energy. And it also helps me to know if it's something that I will get to move through quickly or if it's going to be a long 6-month transit. So these are some things happening in August. Feel free. You can listen to me while you're driving in the car because I will tell you everything, or you can watch and follow along using your natal chart. I also suggest you bookmark, save this, come back and visit me as you're in the midst of this in August and tell me what's resonating, what's working, because I'm going to give you the whole broad spectrum. So when we talk about a house, sometimes it can mean 5 different things. It's not going to mean all of those 5 different things for you. For you, it might be one of those things. Okay. And then for someone else, it might be the other one of the things. So I'm giving you the whole umbrella, the whole menu of options today. So here's what's happening in August. First, on the 6th, we have Venus entering Libra. That's going to be beautiful. On the 9th, we have Mercury entering the sign of Leo. Okay, that's your first house. You got a lot of stuff happening in your first house today. On the 11th, we have Mars entering the sign of Cancer. On the 12th of August, we have a new moon in Leo that also coincides with a solar eclipse. On the 15th of August, Mercury is conjoined Jupiter, 2 very great benevolent signs. On the 19th, we have the lunar nodes entering a new sign. Now, I practice traditional whole sign, tropical, zodiac astrology. So based on the charts that I am bringing up today, these nodes will enter on August 19th. I have a full video that will be coming out on that. If you want to learn more, I will just be touching upon it in this video today for you. On the 23rd, we have the sun entering Virgo. And on the 25th, Mercury enters Virgo. And on the 27th, the Mercury and the sun conjoin for a Mercury Cazimi. And we are ending out the month of August with a big bang on the 27th That is the lunar eclipse and the full moon in Pisces. So a lot of exciting things happening. Let's get to the chart. So make sure you grab your natal chart and follow along. All right, Leo rising. So let's get to it. This is what the collective chart looks like. As you can see, I have Leo in the first house, and that is where your ascendant should be if you are following along with your rising sign. So you currently, I'm recording this, it's actually July 20th when I'm recording this, but you have Jupiter and Sun in your first house. So are you feeling good? Are you possibly gaining weight or bulking up? Because I had this transit last month. I had Jupiter in my first house, and I was just hungry all the time. I found myself gaining weight. So I'm curious, how's that working for you? But if you want to build your physique, also a good time for that. Now, the other interesting piece here is you have Mercury in your 12th house. So Mercury in the 12th house can really heighten your instincts and your intuition. So I'm also curious how that's going for you. Are you getting messages, symbols? How are your dreams? Let me know how that's going. And our first event is happening on August 6th. So let me move my wheel. Now, on August 6th, Venus enters Libra, and that is the third house. So Venus is the sign of Libra. Oops, just notice my error. It's August 7th when Venus enters Libra. Third house has to do with siblings, your neighbors, and how you communicate. It can also indicate short journeys. So I would say within this realm, you can expect to have a good time and enjoy those things. It's just going to really bring a feeling of peace and love, and you'll be able to enjoy your local surroundings. So get out there, get in the neighborhood, go out for walks, go on a getaway, and just enjoy your local surroundings. It's a really good time for that. And the next transit is on the 9th. And on the 9th, Mercury moves from the 12th to your first house, which is Leo. So Mercury is the communicator, and Mercury can help you advocate for yourself here. Remember, your first house is your physique, yourself, your appearance. Mercury can also be a trickster. So you might be pranking people or be very humorous or, making jokes. This is a good time for that. Mercury also has a sextile to Venus, so this could possibly bring some good news from siblings. I would also recommend you check where your ascendant is, because that's going to be in this first house of Leo if you are looking at your rising sign. So that'd be interesting to see when it's touching either Mercury, Jupiter, or Sun, can really be a powerful transit for you. We also have Mercury in opposition to Pluto. You see Pluto over there in Aquarius across the way. So this could be a battle between preserving yourself and possible power dynamics in relationships. Your relationships might be really trying to evolve you, or the other way around, are you evolving your relationships? So are you currently with a partner that is a very Aquarius-like person? Somebody that's cool, and when I say cool, I mean not very nurturing, like a cold person, I guess, and analytical. Are you attracting magnetic, intense, highly perceptive people, possibly wanting to transform you? That would be a very Plutonian person. Now, Pluto is retrograde here, so it can bring you more inner thinking, more reflecting on yourself and your relationships, possibly some boundary issues, but this is a good transit for you to spot those insincere people and those hidden motives. Now, on the 11th is our next transit, and that is when Mars enters Cancer in the 12th house. So Mars here is all about the physical. Mars typically gives you energy, but being that it's in the 12th house makes it a little interesting because Mars here may repress your physical stamina. You might be feeling a little more tired. So mark this down. If you're not feeling well, just know, hey, it's Mars going through my 12th house. Hopefully it'll pass quickly. All right, Cancer is not a great sign for Mars, and he's a little uncomfortable. That's not his home. So when you think of people that are Cancer people, they are nurturers. They're very family oriented. They like to stay home. That is not Mars. Mars is a go-getter. Mars is a warrior. So that's why he's not, it's like he's visiting this house of people that like to hug each other, and Mars is not a hugger. Okay, so the 12th house is all about the subconscious, solitude, spiritual retreats, hidden enemies, and possibly what happens behind closed doors. Like I said before, you can expect lower physical energy. You might be needing more sleep, more solitude. This is a good transit for working on a private project. So you could get a lot done behind the scenes. And then when Mars crosses over, especially on your ascendant, that's a good time to launch your work. So if you are a content creator working on a project, you can get those videos done. Don't put them out yet. And then when it hits your ascendant, go ahead and go live, launch whatever it is you're doing. Okay. So watch for when Mars is reaching your ascendant. You're going to really want to check that on your natal chart. All right. Next is on the 12th, the next day. We have a new moon in Leo, and this is the solar eclipse, and this is happening at 20 degrees in Leo. Again, where's your ascendant? That's going to be also an important piece with what's happening here. So this is a real powerful cosmic reset. So this is like supercharged, a supercharged new moon. And we know new moons are all about planting seeds. It's not going to be an immediate change, right? I plant a seed today. I'm not going to get my lettuce tomorrow. It takes time and patience for it to grow. But this is a good time to plant a seed in your first house. Something you want to change about yourself, whether it's rebooting your identity, renewed vitality, or could possibly be your appearance. Are you going to drastically change your hair, a hair color, a diet, some kind of surgery, or just changing your life direction? This is a real ego reset here. You are going to be stepping into an upgraded version of yourself, which is pretty cool. How do you imagine yourself? You can't even picture it right now, but by the time we're done with August, you're going to be a new person. Okay, so themes here, as I said, possibly changing your appearance, launching your personal brand. It's a good time to step into the spotlight and stop seeking validation from others. Okay, you don't need that. You don't need to be validated by others. You do your thing. It's time to take a lead in your life. Don't let other people tell you where you need to go. And usually you're pretty good at that, Leo. You're the star of the show, the sage on the stage, right? So this is all happening in your first house, but it's across from the 7th house, so it can impact relationships. You might meet new people that match your energy. Now, eclipse energy can feel very chaotic and overwhelming to some, so don't feel rushed to make impulsive decisions. Take time. Don't make any big decisions during this eclipse. I would say like the week of the eclipse. And then, like I said, this takes months. Now, on the 15th is our next event. This is Mercury conjuncting Jupiter at 10 degrees in Leo. Okay, you got all this stuff is happening in your first house. Again, what am I going to say? Check and see where your ascendant is. Now, Mercury brings the intellect, and Jupiter brings the wisdom. So when you mix your intellect and wisdom, wow, it's a great combination. So talk about big ideas. The vibe here is high energy, charisma, optimism. You have the ability to coach, to teach, or motivate, like do something great with that because you have that potential. Don't overpromise ideas though. Okay. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Jupiter can sometimes make you do that. But also, your ideas right now are going to feel like babies, like they're your own personal ideas. So don't get upset if everyone is not aligned to your ideas, but you will be getting some ideas. So I say do your thing. Okay. On the 19th, the next big event, the nodes. The nodes here. I have a full video that I'm just going to do on the nodes once I get out these August videos, because this is happening on August 19th. As I said, I use tropical whole sign houses, and I am using the mean nodes, which are more traditional. And these are changing signs on the 19th. So we have the South node, which is in your first house. It goes from the second and dips back to your first house. And the North node is in the seventh house. This is an 18-month cycle. All right. So it will be, a year and a half before they change signs again. So this is time. And really what the nodes are asking you to do. So the South node is all about release. Okay. So you're going to release one of those first house ideas, possibly an exhausting habit that you have. What's the bad habit that you have you need to get rid of? Okay. Most Leos like to do everything on their own. Maybe you'll change that. No, I mean, you do like to do everything on your own. So you don't have to do everything on your own, and you don't need constant validation. Get vulnerable with people. Okay. Maybe that's the piece that you need to let go here in your first house. And then you have the North node in your seventh house. This is where you are being asked to grow. Seventh house is all about relationships, partnerships. So some things to look for here: true equality in your partners. Make sure it's a real match. Some drama-free communication, collaborative success, or possibly some faded relationship connections. All right. We talked before, are you in a relationship or are you seeking a relationship? So that could go any of those ways, right? We're not ending, we're not beginning, we're just growing in that relationship house. So we talked about drawing in Aquarian partners. You're going to want to look for someone that offers loyalty, they're objective, and they're wise. Okay, so if you want to know more about the nodes, like I said, I have a full video that will be coming out. If you subscribe, you'll always get notification of when my new videos come out. And then on the 23rd is our next event. On the 23rd, we have the sun entering Virgo in the second house. Second house is your finances, your self-worth. Okay, that was a lot that was going on, and we will have a lot going on in that area up and coming. So this is good for budgeting, tracking your finances, practical investments. It's a good transit for building long-lasting wealth through planning. You can also earn through your expertise or services. Like maybe you can consult people, or there's something that you do on the side as a hobby. Okay, that's a good way to earn money from that. Be aware of perfectionism, because Virgos bring about being meticulous, being perfectionist. So There could also be some financial anxiety or tying your self-worth to productivity. All right, so that is happening. And the next transit is happening on the 25th. And that is when Mercury enters Virgo in the second house. So now Mercury is joining the sun. We're going to start to see your second house light up. Mercury here is going to add a boost of goodness because Mercury rules Virgo. Mercury is very happy in the second house. He's going to give more focus and organization to your finances. Mercury also rules the 11th house as well. So your network or audience can feed your personal income. You may be seeing new clients coming in. And you can raise your rates here. Don't undersell yourself. Now on the 27th, we have this fun Sun Mercury Cazimi, and that is happening at 4 degrees Virgo. So check your natal chart. See if you have any transits or planets that will be impacting this, because this is a supercharge to your house of self-worth and finances. So you're going to be seeing a cosmic laser, like a financial epiphany. You will finally see your worth. And the Cazimi can bring pivotal news, lucrative sign-offs. So here's some things to do during this transit. Launch a new project. Announce what you're all about. You can sign contracts. You can invest in yourself. So this is a green light for you to take hold of your financial authority. And then this full moon in Pisces is happening in your 8th house with the lunar eclipse. So this is a supercharged full moon in your 8th house. And Pisces governs your joint assets, your inheritances, your power dynamics. Pisces brings intuition and spiritual energy. It's possible you could even get swept away with illusions. So really try grounding yourself here. You also may need an emotional detox. That's another piece of this. People get revelations, aha moments. And again, with these eclipses, it could pan out 6 months after. It's not going to be an immediate thing. But the full moon is more about a culmination of things. So if you've had a project or something that you've been working on with a partner, this is going to be the culmination, the ending. If you've had trust issues, this can also work like a truth serum, okay, for your deepest bonds. You might be able to see unhealthy relationships or dynamics deepen and really have some real intimacy going on. So some things to do during this full moon. Release control. Pay off your debts. Trust your intuition. And give yourself space to rest. Here's what not to do, okay? Don't make any hasty investments during this time. And don't bottle up those heavy feelings. Be open with your communication. If you are in a partnership, don't ignore red flags, okay? If you're seeing red flags, there's a reason. Remember your intuition. Mercury's going to be that person on your shoulder helping you out, giving you the advice. That's going to be your gut intuition. That's Mercury trying to signal you in. Okay. So yeah, any red flags in joint agreements, you have anything that you're working on with a business partner, you may want to double check that. All right. So that is the end of all of our transits, Leo. So it's looking to be like a positive August, right? We've got these eclipses, certainly nothing to be scared of. I think it's just going to help you transform. So I'm really curious Leos, take a picture before and after the end of August because I'm seeing some significant change for you in your first house. If you know or love a Leo, please share this information with them. Um, Feel free to share my videos, bookmark, and if you like this content and you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will always be putting out more videos. It motivates me to put out more because this is not my day job. I have another job, but astrology is my passion. And this is the way I channel my passion because I have to talk about it. Like I have to tell people what's going on in the world. And thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful August and hope to see you back here soon.